Hey guys, welcome to this tutorial. First off, we're going to start making a template for the body of the tail. So, going to roll out some paper that's longer than your legs. It doesn't have to be brown paper, that's just what I had lying around. And then you just want to get the measurement of your legs. So, I just used a tape measure to measure the length of my legs from my waist, and then you mark that as a straight line down your paper. And then what you do next is you get the around measurements of your legs. So you wrap measuring tape around them, and when you write the measurement down, make sure that you half the measurement. So if I was writing down 14 inches, I'd write down 7 inches. And this just creates like a flat template. So when you like sandwich two kind of pieces of fabric together, they make a 14-inch circumference. What I did was I measured my ankles, calves, knees, mid-thighs, hips, waist, and then I measured the distance between them. So that's what I'm doing here, where I'm kind of jotting down those measurements and getting like distancing them between what I measured on my legs, sort of thing, if that makes sense. And then you just draw a line connecting them all and try and make this line a bit curved and rounded off. And then I also kind of traced over my monofin as well, just to kind of get some extra fabric that would cover the monofin. And then what you do is you fold down down the middle of the template, and you trace whatever measurement you cut out. It just makes it symmetrical, so it's not, different on one side than it is on the other. And then you grab your fabric and put the template over it, trace it out. And I just used a green Sharpie. It's nothing too, I didn't really have any chalk or anything. But yeah, Sharpie's fine. This is also neoprene that I got. And here is also a close-up of my template. And then you cut that out and make sure you leave just a little bit of a gap for a sewing allowance. And then what you're going to do after that is sew it all together. I didn't include a clip of that just because I hand sewed it and it took a lot of time.
Hey guys, so quick update in this video. I have sewn together all the the body bit of the fluke, the tail. And basically what I've done to alter it in the meantime is that instead of, let me just get it sorted. So instead of just having it as that V at the bottom, I rounded off the front part, as you can see, so that it's not as kind of in the tail, going in, so it's not taking up that much of the tail sort of thing. So that's rounded at the front, and then the back is kind of at a triangle still, just to cover the foot pockets. So that's all done. On to the next part of the video. Let's go. Also, another quick update, I tried to paint and cover my fluke with gesso, as in the kind of painting medium you put down before you paint on a canvas, and it didn't turn out so well because it was going on fine, but then when it dried, it just started cracking and peeling, and I was like, oh, rip. Anyway, I'm gonna have to find something that's gonna cover this fluke. Alright, now onto the fabric that I'm gonna use for the fluke.
Next, we're going to make the template of the fabric for the fluke. So I just kind of traced everything out. So I'm using organza for my fluke, and I thought it was really exciting. But what you're going to do is kind of, what I did, I kind of messed up here. I kind of just traced it out on organza first, which is pointless. And then make sure you have a wider kind of width for that length around the base of the fluke, just because it's a lot taller than the ends, and I had to kind of allow for that I kind of forgot to do. So don't make that mistake. But then you're going to pin your template to the fabric and then just kind of cut around it, I guess. And then what you want to do is pin that to your base already, the base of the body. and then I stitched that all together. And here is the dramatic reveal for the scales I'm using. Ta-da! I'm so in love with the iridescent shimmer on these. They're so gorgeous. So also I laid out my body and I have like kind of traced a template for how much fabric I'm going to need. This is also doubled up and on the inside of the fabric, and then you're going to cut that out. So here is one of the sides all cut out, and it's just the right size for my fabric. And here is just a little iridescent kind of show off.
Okay, so I feel like this is gonna be like partially me talking and also partially just like voiceover. Ignore the background noise if you can hear any. But so far, this side has not been done yet, but I have, if you can see that, let me focus in. I have lightly just kind of stitched along those seams. Let me focus. There we go. So I've lightly just stitched along those seams. And when I cut the fabric, I tried to cut like around the where the sequins were, so I didn't cut any sequins in half. So I've done the sides of that, and I'm just going to go in and kind of like maybe like secure some sequins and also add some where they're missing. But yeah, I'm going to go and sew this side on, and then I'm going to sew the back on, and also make sure you leave this kind of gaps, just so, because I want to gradient out the scales. Alright, also haven't done much for the fluke, but I have a plan, so stick with me. And I'll get everything sewn together, and then I'll be back when it's together. Okay, you guys, so I have in fact sewn on all the scales, and like they're on a mesh, so I didn't like individually sew them, but they are sewn on. And now I'm going to put a waistband on. So I'm filming with one hand here, just hold on. So I have my waistband. This does in fact stretch, and I have like stretched it around my waist to know that it is able to be slipped over my hips, and then also that it's comfortable around my waist, you know, like so it's tight and it keeps it up, sort of thing. So what I'm going to do is mark out this sort of length, and then on the inside here I'm going to insert this in, fold that over sort of thing, so it becomes like a little slip. And then yeah, I'm gonna sew all around this edge, so you know this is all folded over. I'm gonna leave a little gap maybe on the side or something, and then I'm gonna thread this through so it's underneath, and then I'm going to sew these two together. Alright, so I've done like a border around like the edge, and I've just left like a little gap right here. So I've got my elastic and I've attached it to this thing. I found it in my mum's sewing kit, and basically it's like this little attachment that you can just thread into, sort of thing. So I'm gonna do that now. Alright, so I'm just lying on the couch because I'm very lazy, but I'm just going to, if you can see, I'm going to insert that in and just kind of scrunch it all around. Yeah, and it fits. So I'm doing like a scrunching motion, just pulling that through, not all the way, so I'm going to hold on to this. Now I'm going to like align this so it's not twisted, and then I'm going to sew it. Okay, so I'm basically done with my tail, but just a quick update of what I did. So I individually sewed these little boys onto like the waist to kind of like gradient it out a bit. So it's like a little bit of a gradient sort of thing. I also did it on the back as well. There we go. Yeah, and then on the fluke as well, I just kind of, you know, gradiented out a few scales on the back as well. There's just, you know, a few. Yeah. And I might add more material to the base, but I'm not sure yet. But if I do, I will include that. But as for now, I am done with this tail. I will include a clip of me swimming in it as soon as I get a chance to swim in it. Alright.